to go in 3, 2, 1, go! All right, robots beginning their autonomous out here. Getting ready to fire, that's right. Blue Alliance gets 3 in the top goal. Red Alliance does not get any except from their other robot where they get 2 in the top. That's 2 wobble goals placed. The other Blue Alliance, Beach Bots, landing all 3 of their rings in the top as well. Red Alliance landing 1 ring. It looks like a substantial advantage right now for Blue Alliance coming into this finals of about several points. About 30 points advantage. Getting ready to begin this first final tele-up.
3, 2, 1.
All right, here we are. This is where it's really going to count. We're going to see how much defensive play these robots are going to do versus how much they can capture these rings and score them efficiently. Brainstormers owning that area in front of the blue goal, trying to get those rings. This is where the human players come in, deciding when they can enter, replace, or drop those rings. They don't want to give them to the Red Alliance after all. 7303 aiming and shooting and firing at exactly the same time as Beach Bots, making sure that this is a even match here with a 137 to 103. It is a close game. Lots of defensive play. Beach Bots doing what they brought them out of those semifinals successfully, which is this strong defensive play that has gotten them the win so far, keeping it up, letting their alliance partner 7303 move basically unhindered. But Brainstormers won't let that happen. Brainstormers also knows how to play defense, yet 7303 still lands the scores in the top. Okay. Got 1, 2, 6, 9. Hey, 7303 aiming once more. Brainstormers getting in that top goal. Primitive Data moving around, doing that defense. But they call it, the refs have called that as pinning, which might be penalties in the future. My apologies, by the way. 18219 is Primitive Data, not Beach Bots, even though Beach Bots and Primitive Data are both very good at pinning and blocking and doing defensive play. They know how to do that as we enter our end game. 7303 trying to get some more rings. It is a substantial advantage for the Blue Alliance. However, the Red Alliance can get this end game pinned down without the Blue Alliance getting their end game pinned down. That could be the difference that is required because Red Alliance just got a wobble goal. 2 power shots. Blue Alliance getting into the top goal as well. Still holding on to that lead, but it is getting tighter. It's getting closer. 207. That is all the power shots, but it is 260 to 234 on the Red. 240, 257 with the end of the match. It's going to be a close one. 260 to 240. It's going to go once 246. It's once again going to come down to penalties and end game scoring. Amazing work, teams.
That match was really, really close. We'll see how this match ends up interacting with their next match themselves. They're going to have to switch out a few of their alliance partners, but while our referees go ahead and confer on what went on in that last match, we're going to send it back over to our sports desk. Tyler and Ishan, back over to you.
Finals match number 1 is in the books. What an incredible showing that we saw here. You can see preliminary scores up right now, 257 to 246. Lower than I expected, but lots of defense happened, Sean.
Right, I think that the defense is what came out there. Primitive Data shocked me with that defense. I did not think that they would be able to pull something out like that. I thought Beach Bots would play in this match. The captain sat out in this match, and they put in Primitive Data. Primitive Data played excellent defense against 8644, the Brainstormers. That's what really set up this match.
So we're going to hop in the instant replay here. Let's take a look and talk to you about what went on during this. Start me out with the autonomous mode here, Sean.
Yeah, so just looking at this, Brainstormers went 0 for 3 in their power shots. That's the first time I've seen them do this in such a long time.
Yeah.
So shock for there.
Can't blame that on defense.
Right. And then they miss their wobble goal. They push it out of the way. They get the park, but that automatically puts them down by around 40 points in autonomous. Blue Alliance gets 1 wobble goal. They got a lot more shots up in the high goal, right? 6 to 4. 7 to 4, actually. They just got that last shot in. And so that's definitely setting them up to be a lot higher in the teleoperated period.
So looking at, as we go in the tele, once again, if you are joining us from Twitch front page or not familiar, this is First Tech Challenge. We had autonomous, which is the first 30 seconds, completely pre-programmed instructions for those robots. Now we move in the tele-op. This is where the drivers are picking up the controllers and operating the robots.
Yeah, so looking here, you'll see Primitive Data and Brainstormers don't move one tile apart at all, right? Like they're always touching each other. Refs did call pinning on Primitive Data a couple of times, but because you're allowed to pin for up to 5 seconds, they were very smart. They would pin and then they would back away, and then that 5 seconds would reset, and that's just 5 seconds that Brainstormers can't score. So they just stick with they just stick with the Brainstormers. They don't really need to touch the other team. I believe it's Robo Raiders or Raider Robotics. And they're able to continue scoring. Right there, they do go and touch Raider bots, and they're slowing them down while Brainstormers is picking up. So very smart play by them. You'll see here, Robo Avatars gets the entire field to themselves, unobstructed. Brainstormers is shooting while ever they're shooting, so they're not actually getting touched. And then going into the endgame. Endgame was very, very amazing here. You'll see that the Blue Alliance actually scores 0 points in the end game, right? You got this Red Alliance wall goal that ends up back here. Brainstormers drops it on accident. Now Blue Alliance is going for their wall goal down here. They're going to drop it right here as well. So they drop it, they pick it up. They're going to drop it again. No power shots for the Blue Alliance. They don't go for those because they're not accurate enough. Red Alliance gets all 3 power shots. Red Alliance gets 1 wobble goal. But in the end, because they're able to shoot a lot more high goals, unofficial score has them above. We'll have to see what the referee's decision is, though.
Going back to the predictions on here, by the way, very close. 49% predicted red, 51% predicted blue. Ishan, you and I both predicted red. It's going to be really close in here. We do have final scores, so let's kick it back over to the field, and final scores coming up here.
There we go. We end up having the Red Alliance coming out on top, 246 to 227. Looks like penalties on the Blue Alliance may have made the difference.
Yeah, 30 points of penalties. That's really hard to overcome when you're playing such defensive play. 227 to 246. Without that penalty, the Blue Alliance would have won it.
Well, not the way you want to see it go, though, right?
Right.
With match decided by penalties on something like that. So that's unfortunate for the Blue Alliance, but if you're blue, you got to feel a little good that had you not had that penalty, you would have been taking that first match on there. So,
right. You played it exactly the way you wanted. You're 40 points ahead in auto, 40 points ahead in teleop. You didn't do anything in endgame, but that you can fix for your next match. I don't think that these Blue Alliance teams should be scared. Throwing in their captain, the Beach Bots, I think they're going to be better, and they'll be able to win this next match.
So how about for Red Alliance? So, looking at them, you still got to give them credit where it's due as well,
obviously.
right? So if you're Red Alliance, any changes you're making if you're them?
Figure out if there's any sensors that might have gotten unplugged. What happened with that Brainstormers auto, right? That Brainstormers auto is such a powerhouse auto. Scores them so many points. Figure out what went wrong there and try to fix that up.
This stream is made possible with support from Stryker Careers. Be part of the future of medical device technology. Join an incredible Fortune 500 company that will support you being a mentor or volunteer in FIRST. No matter what stage you are in your career, Stryker has something for you at careers.stryker.com.